Hey y'all, it's your girl Jada J. What's up? What's up, my lovely if loving you is wrong people? Just want to let y'all know right off the top, I had my road test today, and I'm officially a licensed driver. I'm licensed, you know what I'm saying? I'm licensed. So feel free to congratulate the sister down in the comments. You guys know I live for the comments. By the way, I know I got some have and have nots comments to catch up on. I will definitely be getting to those. Um, yes. Okay. So this is loving you was wrong. I'm calling it season 5, episode 12, a neighborhood in crisis. But if people are calling it season 6, episode 1, I'll adjust. Um, Okay, so let's get into it because this episode not only did it have a lot of dialogue, but there was a lot of scenes. Normally, if one of Tyler's episodes has a lot of dialogue, then there's not that many scenes. But this episode was both a lot of scenes, a lot of dialogue. So I'm gonna do the best I can with it. Thank you so much. And remember, I'm licensed. You know what I'm saying? I'm licensed. So go ahead, congratulate. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Anyway, let's go ahead. Um, Okay, so we open up. Remember, fake ancestors mama Virginia is on the boat with the baby out. She on the lake with the baby like this, standing on the boat. So tonight we see you did this, Alex. You did this. No, mama, no, please don't do it. You did this, Alex. Look what you did to my husband. Drop. So, cause remember the finale, we didn't see her do like that, but cause we seen the shot where the guy was telling Lucian, I got a shot, and Lucian was like, take it. So that's what we see. But tonight we actually saw her go like this. So she did end up dropping the baby before the cop shot at her. So the cop shot at her after she'd already dropped the baby into the water. So then Alex immediately kind of wants to run in. Lucian's like, no, we're going to have somebody go get him. We're going to have somebody go get him. And they're kind of just standing around. And Lucian's like, come on, somebody get in there. Somebody get in there. Brad is the first one. He slide down, starts swimming like he in the Olympics. You feel me? Brad is the first one in there. A couple of FBI agents follow. So Brad is already, he's swimming. And then so he's telling Lucian is telling Alex, calm down. So Eddie talking about if he out there, he gonna be gator meat. Steven's like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's gators up in this water. And he's like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, sometimes they swim up shore. And he's like, well, if you see a gator, then shoot. Eddie was like, all right, I'll back you. Lucian's like, no, not you. Somebody else. Put your gun away, Eddie. Put your gun away. He's like, man, what are you talking about? I got him. I could back him. He was like, nah, man, back up. He's like, okay, I'll shoot him from right here. He was like, no, that's not what I mean. Put the gun up. Steven was like, yeah, Eddie, put the gun down. And he's like, all right, but I'm telling you, they're going to be gator meat. Now, this was different because you know how Eddie normally tries to portray that Latino black type attitude. Well, tonight it was very redneck white. It just really came to fruition for him. Like, no shade to white people. I'm not saying nothing about. I'm just saying tonight, like I said, he's always trying to portray that persona of a Latino or somebody who's black. So tonight it was really the way, like, you can't get away from your roots. It was very redneck white. Like, that's really what it was. They're gonna be gator meat. Like, what is wrong with you? So I was thinking, like, are you gonna be okay? So yeah, he was like, they gonna die out there. They gonna die. So Alex turns around. She's like, shut up. And so Eddie's like, oh, you ungrateful witch. Like, if it wasn't for me, you'd be dead right now. You shouldn't even be breathing. She was like, shut up. Randall come out the cut. He like, you shut up, witch. Like, shut up. He's telling him to shut up. And he goes, you ungrateful son of a bee. He was like, you be hanging right now if it wasn't for me, so you better back up out my face. Randall was like, are you kidding me? You were hanging me. Like, what do you mean? He was like, Randall, you and I both know if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead. So I suggest you get out of my face. Because he was like, don't you got a half-breed floating around out there in the lake? I said, did he just call a half-breed? I would have been like, mother effer, don't you have a half-breed? Because you're white. And the girl you had a baby with is Latina, so who was you calling a half breed? And what was with the racial? Why did we need all of that? Then so Randall just is kind of like, cause kind of acted like he did forget, because after Eddie said that, he does actually end up jumping into the water. He's like, oh, you going in? He's like, you know, they love that dark meat. You gonna be gator meat. They love that dark, just going on and on. So, but I didn't really appreciate. I hated that half breed. It really got on my nerve because he spoke as if it was like an animal out there and not a baby. Okay, but surprise, it's Eddie. So what are you shocked about? What can you be surprised about? So then Brad ends up, he's got the baby in his hand. He comes out the water. Lucian's like, hey, put the baby down. He's like, come on, Steven, give me a jacket. He's cold. We gotta warm him up. So he immediately starts performing CPR. 1, 2, 3, and then the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. 1, 2. So then the baby we're all anticipating, like, oh, he gonna make it. Nah, Tyler about to. So yeah, he ends up making it. He ends up spitting out the water. He's like, yeah, that's right, little man. Like, you got it, you got it. So he's like, all right, but you gotta hold him close. He gives the baby to Alex. You know, you gotta hold him close because he's cold right now. Warm him up, warm him up. So he's like, all right. She goes, thank you, Brad. Like, thank you so much, Brad. Like, thank you. And so he just kind of ignores her and walks away because, you know, he's still mad at her, but he wouldn't, but he probably would have been mad at himself for not doing anything when he felt like he could have. So he just walks away. Eddie comes up, of course. What the heck were you thinking? He was like, I don't want to hear it, Eddie. He was like, you could have gotten rid of that thing. And Brad, like, for the first time, because we know they friends and they met in the war and stuff like that. We found that out like season 2 or whatever. So he knows Eddie is crazy, but he never really came off like that. He goes, Eddie, he goes, you're sick. Like, and we know he plays with him and stuff like, Eddie, you're crazy and all that. But this was really like, he even began to process that Eddie was sick. So he goes, Eddie, you're sick. And then he just walks like, and then Eddie's like, you're going soft on me now? He's like, get off me. He walks away. He's like, so you just gonna walk away? Like, yeah, what do you mean? So the ambulance pulls up on scene. Alex got the baby in her hand. So once the ambulance gets to Alex, is like, okay, I'm going. Randall's like, I'm going too. I'm going to the hospital. Lucian was like, no, Randall, why don't I drive you? And Randall's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm riding with my child. What do you mean? And Alex is like, no, you're not. Like, you're not coming with us. So they get there, and the EMT is like, okay, so what's going on? He goes, we got a baby that, you know, was in the lake, could possibly be hypothermic. So she grabs the baby. She's like, okay. And Alex kind of doesn't even want to give RJ, I guess what we're calling him, doesn't want to give RJ to her. She's like, it's okay, you know, he's gonna be all right. And she hands her the baby. And so she's trying to get on, and Randall's like, I'm going too. And the woman, at first the EMT is like, no, like, we can only have one person on there. He's like, well, I'm going. She's like, no, you're not. And Lucian's like, come on, Randall, like, I'll just drive you. He's like, what are you talking? I'm riding with, like, the baby. Like, what do you mean? It kind of got on my nerve that Alex was protesting it. Like, but I didn't expect anything less, because I don't know if I was in that situation. Like, I probably wouldn't want to. If I was him, I wouldn't want to deal with her. If I was her, I wouldn't want to deal with him. So I understood, but at the same time, he didn't already said he's coming. We trying to get the baby to the hospital. I don't have time to argue with you. So if you're getting on the ambulance, then fine. So it was kind of getting my nerve, and I already hate Randall. So, or dislike him, sorry. I think I dislike Eddie even more, but I definitely dislike Randall. So anything he was doing was just getting my nerve. But so he's like, I'm getting on. And Lucian is like, at one point he tried to buck up with Lou, because Lou was like, don't make me have to snatch you back right now. Like, don't make me have to do that. Like, really, Randall? And Randall gonna step up to Lou talking about some, try it. I was like, you know, Lou will snatch you up in a second. So please put the wolf tickets up. All right, wolf, you ain't all barking no bite. So he ends up getting on because she's like, okay, like, both of you can come. We just need to hurry. So she gets on. They end up driving away. So then these, like, fellow FBI agents come up to Eddie and Lucian's like, yeah, it looks like you guys got to clean up on this one because it's way out of my jurisdiction. And they're like, yeah, we know. I think they might have knew him and they were just playing along because we know Lou doesn't want Eddie to know he's FBI. So they walk away. Eddie's, you know, goes on with his BSO, like, have a nice day, guys, whatever. So then he gonna turn to Lou talking about, oh, so you an actor now too. Lucian is like, what are you even talking about? Like, what? He's like, come on, man. He was like, it's no surprise that every time you show up, the FBI is right along with you. He was like, first it was Miss Louise, and she had 45 minutes after you left, there was FBI detail. And now this, you show up to a crime scene and you got a bunch of agents with you. He was like, you're FBI, you're undercover. Like, stop trying to pretend that you're not. And he goes, you know what, Eddie, I was thinking the same thing about you, but you're too dirty to be FBI. And he's like, oh, you really need to lay off those drugs, Eddie, because you're becoming paranoid. He goes, that's funny. Like, really funny. And he goes, is that what was going on with you and that Claudia chick when I seen you at the house the other day? You two working together? Is that what's happening? He goes, what I want to know, Eddie, is how did you get here? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, how did you get here? He was like, if you must know, Steven had me come out to Dentonville so I could back Andrew. That was a lie. And I was kind of upset that he didn't call Andrew. He didn't call Steven over and say, Steven, did you ask him to back Andrew? Because we know that was a lie. He went over to the dispatch lady and he said, don't tell Steven and don't tell Andrew that I'm going out there. Just keep it between you and me. She had a little crush on him or something, so she followed through. Then later on, when Steven was looking for Eddie, she goes, oh yeah, you know, he went out there to back Andrew and didn't want me to tell you. So we knew that was like, so I was a little upset he didn't call Steven over. And Steven, did you ask me, you know? And so Eddie's like, yeah, he asked me to back him if you must know. And then he's like, so where's he at? He's like, I don't know. Like I said, I got out here, no squad car, no Andrew. And so he's like, so why is the squad car here? He's like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. He goes, and then you go investigating me again, Lucian. You know, like, you're an FBI agent. Just stop trying to act like you're not. It is what it is. You are. So Lucian is just like, oh, so you just showed up and his squad car just got here and, he's not here. He's like, yeah, and you better be lucky I'm here, else we would have had 2 more victims. So you should be thanking me. So Lucian's like, oh, yeah, we should be so grateful that you're here and all, Eddie, all his bull. Oh, yeah. He goes, you know what, Eddie, though? If I was an FBI agent, I'd be checking, and he starts raising his voice. He goes, I'd be checking, all these woods to see, if you covered your tracks really that well, to see if I could find anything in these woods. So he goes, so I hope that you really covered your tracks. And then so Eddie's like, oh, you think you're being slick by raising your voice, right? And then so he's like, oh, giving tips to your fellow FBI agents. He's like, go ahead, Lou, like do your thing or whatever. And he's like, you know what, Eddie, I'm not FBI, but you might be. So he's like, stop deflecting, Lou, because we all know it's you and all this. Like he goes, from here on out, I'm watching every single thing that you do because I don't trust you. So then he leaves, and Lou was like, okay. He's like, have a good one, Eddie. Have a good one. He's like, don't touch me, don't touch me. Like, shut up, Eddie, because you just on your weak stuff, and as always, and we're over you. So he walks off. As Eddie gets in the car to drive away, Lucian goes, Steven. Steven comes over there. He's like, come on, man. He was like, 2 officers. That's 2 officers, Pete, and now Andrew. Like, we got to do something. So then he's telling Steven, he's like, you really want to let Eddie go, like, for a drug dealer? And Steven tells it's not a drug dealer, it's the cartel and all this. Eddie's killing people one by one, but the cartel is doing it by the thousands. And they targeted our small town Maxine. He's like, I can't let that happen. He was like, Steven, I'm ready to take Eddie down now. He was like, I understand, Lou. Like, I want it as bad as you do. But it took the captain a long time to cozy up with the cartel. We can't let them go. He's like, you gotta trust me. Usually when somebody say you gotta trust me, they on some BS. So I don't know about Steven at this point, because at first, we didn't like Steven anyway. Then we found out, oh, he's working with Lou, so he must be an undercover agent as well. But now Steven is getting on my nerve again because he's saying something. Remember last season, he was doing the same thing. Lucian was like, I'm ready to take Eddie down now. And it seems like Steven is stalling. So I don't know if that's just me. Maybe he really does want the cartel that bad, or maybe he's just being slick. I don't know. Steven is, either way, he's getting on my nerves because, y'all, why can't you get Eddie and then, like, whatever? The cartel is going to be around forever. So it's just, you're not going to get all of them. So just get what you can get and then go back for that later. So Lucian was like, all right. And at one point, he tries to put his hand out to shake Lucian's hand. He doesn't do it. He just pats him on his back and then he walks away. So then we switched to Esperanza. She got on my nerve. And I will tell you that. Because we switched to Esperanza. And she's talking about how it's a ghost town. She's talking to the other dispatch lady who let Eddie go out there. And she's like, have you heard from any of the officers? And she's telling her no. And she's like, it's so quiet in here. She was like, yeah, it's so quiet that it's scary, right? So then Esperanza gets a phone call. And it's Kelly. She's like, Kelly, look, I didn't hear anything, all right? I didn't hear. She's like, I'm not even calling you about that. Like, calm down. You know what I mean? Like, what is your... Okay, I'm being told she didn't say that. But she was like, Esperanza, like, something happened at Ramsey's. She was like, Kelly, what do you even... Like, what? It was getting... Why do you have an attitude? Like, I don't understand that. She was like, Kelly, what are you talking... I don't even know what's going on. Like, what do you mean? She was like, something happened at Ram. She was like, Rick, Rick? She's like, yeah, I know him. She was, he came by last night because Travis had said something that made me think Ramsey's life was in danger. So he came out here to check everything out. She goes, wait a minute, so you're talking to Travis? She's like, Esperanza, look, something happened and I don't know what's going on. Like, could you find out something? She's like, wait a minute, what I don't understand. She was like, when and why were you talking to Travis? And it was getting on my nerve because it's like, you should have been trying to act like she's so dumb, but you still dealing with Eddie and he ain't got nothing. He ain't trying to change nothing. He ain't done nothing different, and you still dealing with him. But you gonna don't try and give me, oh, that's my baby father stuff neither, because you on a different level with Eddie. Like, that would be your business if he was actually deciding he was gonna change and get his stuff together. But Eddie ain't changed a gosh daggone thing, and it don't look like he's gonna anytime soon. And you still dealing with him. You ain't forcing him to get nothing together if you did want to be in a relationship with him, which is your business if you was to take him back. But he hasn't gotten anything. He hasn't changed anything. He's doing the same thing. He's getting worse and worse. But you're still dealing with him. Like I said, don't give me the baby father angle, because you a little friendly with your baby pops. And if it was just that, you feel me? The baby pops is supposed to be the baby pops. If it's over, it's over. So I didn't really like how she was talking to Kelly. Like, oh, you still talking to him? And Kelly's like, and she was like, why and when were you talking to him? And she was like, Esperanza, that's not the point. And she goes, okay, like, can you just find out some information? She was like, I just don't understand why you keep getting yourself in these crazy situations. And Kelly was like, Esperanza, please, could you just find something out? Like, she was like, first of all, I'm not going to be able to get Rick to tell me anything. Like, what do you... She goes, well, can you do your best? She's like, yeah, but I got to get over there so I can get the kids, so we can get the kids ready for school. I'll be over there soon. I'm on my way. So then Marcy coming out the bathroom, she's like, "Is that Esperanza? Yeah, has she heard anything?" She's like, "Listen, I heard her. Tell her I haven't heard anything. I'll let y'all know." Like, just on real dumb attitude, you know? And Kelly's like, "Thanks." And she's like, "All right." And they hang up the phone. So then we switch to Alex and Randall on the ambulance. How old is he? The EMT is saying. And Randall says 7 days. She goes 6 days. And then she's like, "How did this happen?" He goes, and Alex is like, and then he's like, "Some crazy witch tried to drown him in a lake." So, yeah. And then the EMT is like, "Well, I'm glad the officers were there, and I hope she gets what's coming to her." And he goes, "Oh, she did, a bullet right between the eyes." And you can tell Alex is kind of bothered by it, which kind of got on my nerve again. Okay, we get it, that's your mama, but she ain't really much of a mama. If you knew your husband was raping her, and you sitting here jealous of your daughter because your husband is paying more inappropriate attention to her than he is to you. Now that's illogical and it's disgusting. And the witch was a problem trying to tell Alex, "Oh, you can't get into heaven if I don't do this. You can't get into heaven if I don't kill this thing." They were calling RJ a thing. Which you're not getting into heaven by a long shot. So that was getting on my nerve. All right. So yeah, she's feeling some type of way when he said, "Yeah, the witch got a bullet right between the eyes." When the EMT, I hope they got what they deserve. So he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "How she?" I think it was Randall goes, "How is he?" And she goes, "I'm just checking on him, but it looks like he's doing good." And he goes, "Yeah, I hope the witch who did this burns an inch of a hockey sticks with her trifling ass husband." And she goes, "I'm sorry, what's your relation to the child?" He goes, "I'm the child's father." And Alex kind of looks at him like, "No, you're not." But she couldn't say that because he is. And then, but that's interesting. I'm gonna get into it probably toward the end because we'll be here for a minute, you guys. So, Alex and she goes, "And you're the mother." Alex is like, "Yes, I am." So then Randall's like, "You don't have a word to say to me?" She goes, "Nope." He goes, "Okay, good. So what time is it?" She goes, "It's almost 7 a.m. He's like, "Okay, so how long is it gonna take to get to the hospital in Maxine?" She goes, "About 3 hours." She goes, "But you want to go to Maxine Hospital?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the closest one, isn't it?" She goes, "It's the closest big hospital." He's like, "Yeah, we need to get there because that's probably the one that's gonna have like the most equipment and stuff to deal." She's like, "Okay, it's probably gonna be 3 hours, but with the sirens and everything, we probably get there in an hour and 15." He goes, "Okay, that and the doctors." He goes, "That's cutting it close." She goes, "Do you have somewhere to be?" He's like, "Yeah, I have a court date this morning." And she goes, "You don't look like you're up for court." And he goes, "I'll be fine. This is very important." And Alex turns to Randall like, "Really? Like, are you serious right now?" Hold on a second, you guys. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then he's like, "If I go back to the house," he go, "No." He goes, "They hit my mother, right?" Like talking about her parents and the freaking hillbillies that all showed up. They hit my mother. They hit my mother. And he goes, "If I go back there to the house and she's not up walking around, it's gonna be a problem." So Alex she tried to get buck with it. She like, "Well, she wasn't up and walking around when I left." He was like, "Oh, so you saw her?" And she goes, "Yeah, like she was unconscious." He goes, "Unconscious? So she was hurt?" She gonna go, "Yeah." He gonna say, "Well, how did you know about that?" She was like, "I heard noises. I went to check it out. There she was." He goes, "Oh, is that what you're practicing for the jury?" She goes, "That's what happened." He goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "And you didn't even call an ambulance? You didn't call the cops? You just left her there?" And that's when she, I guess, started to feel bad because then she didn't really have that smug attitude about her anymore. She kind of just started looking down. And then so he's like, "Yeah," but she just knows, she ignores him, and she's like, "Okay, it's okay, RJ, I'm here," and he's like, "Okay, that's fair." Like he goes, "I guess that's fair since I left your mother in the lake with a bullet between her eyes. Like I guess that's fair." And so he goes, "Let me get back to the house and see what happened. Let me get back to the house and have her not walking around." Like he was like, "Okay, all right," because she's still ignoring him. So he's like, "Okay." Then we switched to Joey. Oh my goodness, Joey looked like he was hit by a bus. This was probably one of the best scenes of the night. Definitely the most emotional. So we switched to Joey. He's waking up. He goes, "You should go home." Mind you, Natalie's been there for hours. He hasn't been talking. So she was like, "Joey?" He's like, "Yeah." And but he could barely talk and everything. Like very believable. And she goes, "Are you awake?" He's like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "How do you feel?" He goes, "Not good." She goes, "You got shot." He's like, "I know. It was Quan." He's like, he goes, "Did I kill him?" No, he goes, "What happened to Quan?" She goes, "He's dead." "Did I kill him?" "Yeah." And he was like, "Dang, like he's start crying. She's like, calm down. Shh, it's okay. He's like, I just wanted him to leave me alone. He was like, dang. She was like, don't stress yourself out, Joey. Like, if you didn't kill him, he would have killed you. And he's like, Mama, like, why couldn't he was calling her Mama. And then you're going to be crying. Because, Joey usually about that, that on that macho man stuff, but you need your mama. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciated that. She was like, she goes, but you're strong. You made it and everything. The doctor said you weren't going to make it. They wanted me to donate your organs. And he's like, Mama, I'm not ready to die. And he was crying. She was like, you're okay. Like, you're not going to die. He's like, Mama, I'm in so much pain. I was like, oh. And I didn't have a tissue handy, so I'm just not crying, because I don't do that. But, yeah. So he's like, Mama, my chest hurts. She's like, I know, that's expected. The doctor said that would happen. He goes, Mama, it's so hard to breathe. I was like, it was a really good scene. He just keep calling her Mama. You know what I mean? He's like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I keep causing you all this pain and stuff. She was like, it's okay. Don't even worry about this. She goes, but when you got here, I'm going to kick your ASS, okay? Once you start to get better, I'm going to kick your ASS. You're going to be... I love it. I loved it. Because it was so Natalie, and she had that serious look. I'm going to kick your ASS. He wasn't even surprised by it, though. And he was just like, yeah, And then he's like, is Fawn okay? She's like, I don't know. He goes, was she shot? She's like, yeah. Did she make, like, is she okay, Mom? She's like, I don't know. And then he goes, like, can you please find out? She goes, Joey, I've been here for hours. I've been worried about you. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. She's not trying to be rude, but she's like, I really don't know. And she's like, I can't find that out. And she's like, Joey, don't get stressed out. Calm down. I can't find anything out, Joey. He's like, Mama, can you call her dad? Call Mr. Kim. She's like, Joey, I can't do that right now. I can't do that. He's like, Mama, please, I need to know how she is. She's like, okay, I'll call Jackie. I'll get the information. He's like, please, Mama. And then, so he's like, I'm really worried about her. And then, so she goes, I'm gonna call Jackie, all right? And she's like, I'm gonna go into the hallway because the reception's bad in here. He was like, Mama, no, call her here. I want to talk to her now. I want to talk to her. And she's like, I can't. The reception's really bad. I'm just gonna step out in the hallway. But he's like, Mama, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. And she had to go anyway. I'll be right back. And so she ended up stepping up into the hallway. So as she's about to call Jackie, Tilda and the goons roll up, right? And I know Rel C is one who's very interested in the Tilda storyline. He's been wondering where she's at because we didn't see her that much last season. So yeah, Tilda rolls up with goons, okay? She goes, Natalie, like you could tell, I knew they had to know each other from somewhere, And Natalie was like, Tilda. And she goes, she goes, you let that thug shoot my son? She goes, we both know your son was the thug. She's like, they just called me down here to identify my son in the morgue. She goes, you better hope your son doesn't make it. She goes, oh, he gonna make it. You better believe that. She goes, oh, not for long once he gets out of here. She goes, don't try me, Tilda. Don't try me. Okay? She goes, which? She go, which? She's like, yeah. She goes, if any harm comes my son's way, I will die destroying your ASS. And Tilda gonna be like, no, you don't know who you're talking to. Natalie goes, no, you didn't forget who I am. She said, who are you, Natalie? Who are you? She was like, you still living in the hood, like in broke as heck, just like you were when we were in high school. She was like, but you forget, I whooped your ASS back then too. She goes, we were teenagers, honey. She said, Tilda, get out my face. Okay. Yeah, and I said, oh yeah, it looked like it was a little hostility there. Natalie probably drug her ASS from point A to point Z. You feel me? All right. So yeah, she's like, you still broke as heck, still living in the ghetto like we were when we were in high school. Oh, but you forget I whooped your ASS back then too. Oh, we were teenagers, honey. Girl, you still would have lost today. She's like, get out my face. And she said, oh, I will. I have a funeral to go planning. You should probably be planning for it too. She gonna say, Tilda, don't try and threaten me. Don't try and threaten. She goes, listen to me, Tilda. She goes, no, you ain't got nothing to say to me. You ain't got nothing to say to me. You ain't even on the same level as me. Natalie gonna say, what you got? What you got, Tilda? She gonna say, I got millions. That's how she said it. I got millions. She goes, and you earn every cent of it, huh? On your knees and on your back, right? She gonna say, well, that's better than 2 tired feet working at a burger joint. She said, at least it's honest. She said, forget an honest living, honey. I'm rich. Which? And then so Natalie is like, look, And then she walks and she tries to walk away. Natalie goes, you know, your mother would be turning over in her grave. She says, don't you dare. She goes, oh, we all thought your mother was his mother, how she raised him when you out here running the streets. She goes, oh, so you think you know me, huh? She goes, no, I don't think I know you, but obviously you don't know yourself. Because you could have done a lot. She goes, your mother raised your son to be better than you. And you pretty much put him to this because she was helping her son running the streets. You wanted your son to end up like you. And you know you ain't nothing. Okay, so let's be clear about that. She said, baby, you out here just like a 20-year-old. She said, guess what, baby? You're over 40. Get some clothes that are appropriate. She said, and why don't you get some clothes that don't look like they from the dollar store? She said, you know what? Get out of my face. And then she gonna say, oh, get out my face. She gonna say, I'll be back. Natalie said, don't threaten me, Tilda. Don't threaten me. She said, guess what? If I have to come here and identify my son at the morgue, you should have to do the same thing. She said, nah, Tilda. She gonna say, bring it. She gonna say it's an eye for an eye. And then Natalie goes, okay, remember, you started it. Like, I'm about to murder you right now, but remember, you started it. She goes, oh yeah, and I'm gonna finish it. So then she grabs Tilda. She said, witch. Grabbed Tilda by Lou. I said, dang it, Lou, you came in too soon. Okay, so she grabs her up. But Lou gets in between. All right, breaks it up and like kind of like touches Tilda on her shoulder. She gonna say, I said, witch, really? So then Natalie commented, she gonna call Natalie a hoe before she walk away. I said, girl, bye. Like, you were really reflecting right there because we know you're the, you know what I'm saying? I only say the word once because I don't want to just be, you know, putting it around. You know, it's the premiere, so I wanted to give y'all a feel. But that's about it. All right. So Lucian comes in like, what the heck is that? She goes, nothing I can't handle. So he appreciates it because he ain't even really asked no more questions after that. When she said she can handle it, he said, are you sure? She gonna say, yeah. You know, how is Joey? He's fine. You know, why don't you go in there and talk to him? He's been asking me about Fawn, so I'm gonna call her and see what's going on. And then she's like, don't be getting no more fights while you out here. And she's like, okay. And he goes, she goes, I'm gonna check on the kids. He's like, no, let me talk to Joey, then I'll go check on the kids. She's like, all right, I'm gonna call Jackie right now. So that's how that went. Like, she's telling him he's awake. So Lou goes in there to talk to him. He's like, how you feeling, man? He's like, what's up, Lou? He's like, not good. He's like, yeah, that's a part of the process. And he's asking Lou, like, have you ever been shot? He's like, yeah, you ever shot somebody? Yeah. He's like, I killed Quan. He's like, I know, man. He's like, no, I killed my best friend. He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, I just wanted him to leave me alone. Why did he have to keep bothering me? Lou was like, I don't know. Sometimes stuff just happens. Sometimes you make enemies and don't even know you got them. That was truth right there. He's like, I can't believe this happened. Like, and Lou was like, I know, but, you know, at least you're okay and stuff. And trust me, he would have killed you if you didn't kill him. Like, he was just keeping it honest. And he's like, I was just trying to protect Fawn. Like, I can't believe this. Because he's asking Lou, like, how is she? And he's like, you know, I don't know, but your mom's checking on her right now. And he's like, okay, like, I was just trying to protect her. He's like, I told her she shouldn't have been going on with all that money. Lucian was like, what? He was like, yeah, she was coming in with like a whole bunch of money from the restaurant. I told her, you know, put it in the bank. And Lucian was like, did you know she got robbed? No, he was like, did you know she was going to get robbed or something like that? He asked Joey. No, I'm sorry about that. Did you know they were trying to rob her? And Joey was like, what? He was like, yeah, we found out when we got to the station. We went through his phone. There was text messages and pictures of her. He's been waiting on her. Like, he's been planning to take the money. And he's like, wow, like, I can't believe that. And so he's like, yeah, but they found her at my house. He was like, don't do that, Joey. They would have found her anywhere. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. He's like, I can't help it. Like, every time I close my eyes, I see his face. I just want to stop seeing his face. You know, so Joey is really feeling bad. And when he said, I killed my best friend, I was like, wow. Like, because they really were cool in the beginning. But Quan was just on dumb stuff. Like, all that code of the street stuff. Like, I get that stuff is serious. And we appreciate that. But at the same time, Quan did, let's go back to season 1. Quan, you did have something to do with that $3,700 being stolen from Natalie's burger joint. Okay, and you tried to lie about it. You tried to punk Joey. Joey told you, give me my mama's money back. So he had to beat you down to get the money. And ever since then, you've been trying to prove a point and all of this. Okay, but if you took the money and this is your boy since y'all was kids and stuff, kind of bittersweet because he actually got Joey into dealing drugs. That's the relationship with Quan and Joey. But that was okay. They was best friends, so you couldn't even keep it real and say, okay, at least, okay, man, look, I didn't have nothing to do with it, but I might know a couple folks who rolled up in there and did take the money. Now you had to lie, but we knew you knew. So okay, you gonna try and comfort Joey because you're mad that you lied and he caught up to you, that you disrespected his mama and her workplace, and you got mad that he retaliated. That's not. You should have got your ass whooped, and that's what happened. That's the code, okay? So yeah, he's like, every time I close my eyes, I just see his face. Like, I can't forget it. And Lucian is like, look, you're okay, you're good. He's like, look, man, I killed him. I'm going back to jail. I violated my parole. Lucian's like, we can't worry about that right now. We're worried about you getting better, and that's all. All right. So then we switch to the waiting room. Okay. So the doc comes out to speak to Alex and Randall. He's like, is he okay? Yeah, he's fine. Just a little bit of water in the lungs, but he's all right. So Randall's like, can I go back and see him? Alex is like, what? Randall, no, like, you're not going back there. He's like, that's my son. Then the doctor's like, I'm sorry, I don't think it's a good idea that you see him right now, but we'll let you know. He's like, okay, thank you. So they go back to sit down, and Alex is like, oh, so you're really doing this right now? Like, you're really gonna do this? He's like, yeah, now more than ever. And she goes, Randall, my parents are dead. He's like, that's the blood on your hands. You shouldn't have called them. She goes, yeah, well, I did. Like, yeah, well, I did. Like, doing that smug attitude again. He's like, yeah, you did. He's like, so now, like, this is what you get. He's like, I already missed my, no, hold on a second. Oh, yeah, after she goes, yeah, I did. He goes, so you really don't love me? He goes, yeah, I know, and you really don't love me anymore, do you? She's like, are you kidding? Like, have you not got that through your head yet? He goes, oh, no, yeah, I've gotten it. I've gotten it. He goes, that's more incentive for me to get RJ. And he goes, oh, she goes, are you serious? He goes, yeah, you played the card you played the only card that you had. Now it's my turn. And he's like, I already missed my court date, but I'll call my lawyer just to see if he could push it back. And then people start getting up and like leaving the way. Randall's like, no, I want everybody to hear this. He was like, you too? And like they just start getting up and leaving. So he's like, now that I know it's premeditated, that you set it up. He goes, you can't be a good mother from prison. And then she gets up. She was like, I will never give you my child. He goes, that's okay. The courts will once you go to jail. And then like does a little, like, you know, just to annoy her. And she goes back to sit down. Then we switch to Esperanza pulling up at the scene. Now this annoyed me because what the F is a relationship with Rick and Esperanza? She roll up on scene and she's like, Rick, what's going on? He's like, you know I can't say anything. She's like, really, it's me. Like, we both work down at the station. Why can't you tell me nothing? And so she's like, come on, my friends are in the house worried sick. Like, can you tell me anything? And she's like, no. He's like, she goes, is there a body in there? He's like, Essie. You know I can't say, like, what was you calling her Essie? Only her, we've seen her closest friends call her that. Why are you calling her that? I don't want to see no more of that guy. I'm over Rick. I don't want to see him no more. I don't want to see him no more. Okay, at first, Tyler, when we first seen Rick, I said he's sugary. Then you tried to give us he was flirting with Kelly, and now you giving us something that happened in the past with Rick and us. I don't appreciate it. So then she tried to walk past Rick. He like, where you going? I'm gonna go check out the scene. Is that okay with you? He's like, yeah, as long as you stay behind the tape. She's like, you know what? That's all right. Forget it. Goes back. She goes, can you believe that Rick guy? Like, and then tries to act like she don't really know. Can you believe that Rick guy? He didn't tell me anything. And Kelly's like, really? And then so Marcy is like, did you hear anything from Brett? She goes, no. I just know that officers are still on the scene out there, but, and she's like, I gotta go out there. Marcy, no. Like, no, it's taking too long. I have to go. Marcy, no. Like, calm down. And Esperanza's telling her, Marcy, you fainted. Like, you can't be stressed out right now. And she looks at Kelly like, you told the witch that I fainted? And she's like, okay, yeah, Kelly, yeah, Marcy, I told her. And Esperanza's like, it's okay, honey. We just want you to rest. And then and Kelly's like, I'm just concerned the kids might miss school. She's like, Esperanza's like, I'll go get them up right now. She's like, listen, guys, if we need to know anything, we're going to find out. She goes, one of my guys are going to call me as soon as they know something. How many guys you got, Esperanza? Huh? Never mind. You know, she just got on my nerve tonight, so I'm over it. She's a good actress. So then Kelly's going by the window like she's going to help Esperanza get the kids up. So she starts going like towards that way. She looks out the window. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then Marcy's like, what? She goes, the coroner's out there. She goes like, what? So then Marcy's like, you know, just forget it. She goes outside. Kelly comes right behind her. She rolls up on Rick and he turns to Marcy. He's like, yes, ma'am. She's like, I'm Marcy. I live next door. And Kelly's like, is there a body in there? Like, what's going on? And she goes, just come on. He goes, it's a homicide. She goes, Are you serious? She goes, is it him? Is it him? He's like, man, we haven't identified the. She goes, is it Ramsey? He goes, we haven't identified the body yet, ma'am. Like, I'm sorry. He goes, we're gonna need you to come down to the station to tell us everything that you know. And then so she's like, she goes, no, Marcy, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. I just saw him. Like, I just saw him. And so Rick pulls out a picture. It's Ramsey. She goes, is this him? She's like, oh my God. Like, crying and stuff like that. He's like, I'm sorry. I was so hoping that Tyler did not kill off Ramsey. I don't know with this though, because I think maybe Trayvonte Rhodes, you know, he plays Ramsey. He's doing movies now and stuff. He's doing Netflix originals, and we know he just hit Moonlight. So maybe, do you think maybe he talked to Tyler and said, I kind of want to venture off into movies? Is that why? I don't know. I'm over the fact that Ramsey was killed off. I'm over it. But it looks like Trayvonte is bounced back quite well since he's not going to be on the show no more. Or maybe we'll find out that he's alive. I don't know. But according to Rick, Ramsey is dead. So, and we see Travis is crazy. Travis rode up in there with another chick from what we see next week trying to fake like he's over Kelly. And then we see him like in the back of her car, like trying to shove his hand up her skirt. Like, what are you doing? Like, and then he's acting like he's like, man, I went to Haiti just to get away from her. You know, all his fake stuff. And then we have, what else do we have next week? I don't know what. I think Randall was trying to get a hug or something from Alex. She was like, get off me. What are you doing? He acts weird because he tries to act like he could be over the fact that she's over him, but really he can't deal with the fact that she's over him, really never been under him. Well, literally she has, but figuratively it was a lust thing for her. He didn't all fell in love and everything. She was never on that level with you. So actually when he said, so you don't love me anymore, I thought she was going to say, I never loved you. Like, I thought that's what she was going to say. She ain't said that. She was like, no, like, you don't get that? I don't love you no more. No more. I thought she was going to say, I never loved you, but we didn't get that. So yeah, you guys, that was season 5, episode 12, A Neighborhood in Crisis. So this was a good episode. It looks like things are definitely gonna be heating up this season. It's gonna be a good season. It was a strong start, strong premiere. Please let me know what you guys think. If I missed anything, leave it down in the comments because there was a lot going on in this episode. I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss anything important. Sorry, you guys. This is kind of long. Yeah, so they found out that Quan was actually trying to. He was like meditating on this, stealing the money from her, and we knew that because Quan and Julius had a conversation in the car about how he was going to try and steal the money. So he remember when Eddie took Quan's money, now he has to pay the money back. So he was telling Julius he had a plan and was like, oh, that's the plan. Like, I'm going to steal all her money and all this. So, okay, they found that out. Eddie is on to Lucian. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if I missed anything, please leave it down in the comments. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all know the drill. I gotta go to school tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm a licensed driver. You know what I'm saying? I'm a licensed driver. All right, y'all. It's your girl J to J. Y'all know the drill. I gotta go to school tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Peace.